Hi, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Cardinal Playbook, the coach's show for William Jewell College Athletics. And we'll start out with Larry Holley today, talking about the games at Wisconsin Parkside, number 20 in the nation, and Lewis University, number 22 in the nation, both on the road this weekend. And overall, what are your feelings coming out of those two games?
Well, actually, it felt pretty good about the Parkside game. I mean, we were in a position to, if we close the deal, to perhaps compete to win at the end. We've got to find a way to do that, Rick. We've come close to really good teams in the first 35, 36 minutes of the game, and then just can't close the deal. And we talked about that, had a good practice on Friday, and came out and played the worst half of the year. Right. You know, certainly give credit to Lewis, but we were down to Lewis at the half, 52-25, and that's embarrassing. I mean, that's no other way to put it. They played great. We played our worst half of the season. We didn't guard, obviously, give up 52 points and a half, and we had turnovers. I think I read in the stats they had 22 points off of our turnovers, and that's just unacceptable. And we finally just had a letdown. You know, we're, not to beat a dead horse, but we are centerless, and Clint McCullough and Chris Morrison and Devontae Mosby, and those guys battle every night against guys that are bigger than them and low post options, and those guys are fours, but we've been competitive in almost every game, and we simply weren't in the first half. And Lewis played very hard. I think they struggled against Rockhurst on Thursday. Give credit to Rockhurst, and I have a feeling their coach got their attention on Friday, and they came out just on fire. They had 28 assists in our game. They made 13 threes, but we didn't. I told our squad I could make 13 threes if nobody's guarding me. Not sure I could, but I'd like to think I could if nobody's guarding. They just were on point. They were fantastic, and we just weren't very good, and that's not a very good combination.
Well, back to the idea that we have trouble defending big posts. Not only one, but they had several kids they ran out there, 6'6" or better. They came at you in waves.
They did, plus a couple of them can shoot the three,
right?
which makes it doubly tough. But Lewis is a good team. I mean, they're number 22 in the nation. We have 6 teams in our league in the top 26 in the nation. It's a tough league, and that doesn't include Truman State. And Truman State beat Southern Indiana and Bellarmine this weekend. So look for them to jump up there. I mean, it's an amazing league. And if you're not ready every night out, what happened to us in the first half at Lewis can happen. And we've got to regroup and get ready to go. We have four games at home here, and we need to step up and play to our potential.
Let's talk about Parkside a little bit, because I think you did play a little bit more to your potential on Thursday night against the Rangers. They're number 20 in the nation and maybe the top big guy in the conference, but again, played them pretty close. The 10-point final score, not really indicative of the kind of game it was.
No, we shot it well from three, and that kind of kept us in there, and didn't shoot it very well from the free throw line, but we competed. Parkside's again, another outstanding team in our league. They're in first place in the East. They have only one conference loss, which is amazing. And their loss was by 22 at Indy. Comparable score, we lose by 2 at Indy. So we're right there. We have to, we don't have a lot of margin for error. And when we have a lot of errors, we can get thumped. But the Parkside game, very proud of our guys, and I'm proud of our guys in the second half against Lewis. I mean, we could have gotten beat by 50. And part of that, it's from Lewis's standpoint, it's hard to maintain what they did in the first half. But we did score 48 points in the second half, and part of that was their letdown. Part of that, hopefully, was I kind of appealed to the pride of the ball club at halftime, and I'm pleased that we came out and at least shot it better and played a little better, at least at the offensive end.
Against Parkside, Devontae Mosby had 9 offensive rebounds on his way to a double-double, and he put on quite a show off the offensive boards.
Yeah, Devontae's a quality young man, first of all, but certainly a quality basketball player, was highly recruited, and feel very fortunate to have him in our program. And he's having an outstanding year, and we lean on him a lot. And part of the problem at Lewis is that he got 2 quick fouls.
Right.
And I probably should have put him back in the game, quite honestly. Being very critical of myself. You got to find a way not to be down 27 at the half. And part of it may have been, you know, a lot of those guys were there last year when we went into Lewis and upset them. But back to Devontae, you know, he's a force, and when he's not in there, we don't defensive rebound quite as well, and we don't offensive rebound quite as well. He's, I think, in the top 5 or top 10 in almost every rebounding category. And if you look at the rosters, all those other guys are juniors and seniors. So we feel very blessed to have him in our program, and know that he's going to get better and better. And he, you know, he's cranked out a few double-doubles. So when he's on the bench, we're a different ball club.
In the GLVC, looking forward now a little bit, the top 5 teams in each of the 2 divisions qualify for the playoffs, and then there are 2 remaining teams across the 2 divisions that also will be included as wild cards when it gets down to playoff time. And where do we sit in terms of qualifying for the GLVC right now?
Well, if the playoffs were right now, we'd be in. But everybody's got 5 games to play, and we've got to take care of business. McKendree, who we play Thursday, is 1 game behind us. If they come in here and beat us, and it comes down to a tiebreaker, they'll make it and we won't. So there's a lot of pressure on us Thursday to step up and play to our potential and hopefully be in a position to win at the end. Illinois Springfield is also below us. S&T, who we play next week, I think we're tied with them. And then we have Drury, of course, who's in first place. And then we're at Rockhurst, who is below us. So we have 3 teams that are below us right now. We have 1 team who we're tied with right now, and 1 team who's in first place in the West. So we have an opportunity here to do well and hopefully finish strong and make a little run in the playoffs. But we've got to take care of business Thursday night. That's foremost in our thoughts right now, and if we play well, we'll have a chance.
Thursday night is also the night that you'll be meeting Harry Statham and McKendree. Harry has had a marvelous career. In terms of number of wins, I believe he's number 1 all time. You are right there on that list as well. It may be, and I can't get it confirmed, maybe the matchup between the 2 most winning coaches all time in the NCAA now. How does that feel? I mean, what's your thought on that?
I actually had somebody ask me that question, and I think we're number 2. Because Mike Krzyzewski and Jim Boeheim, Syracuse, Duke, actually when the season started, I think Harry's win total, which enhances mine quite a lot, and my win total together, I think we were a few wins ahead of Boeheim and Krzyzewski. Right. But they're both having pretty good seasons, and both McKendree and us are struggling.
So it's going to be close, though.
So, well, they've got more wins than us right now. But it's an honor to coach against Harry. I've only done it twice as a head coach. I did it once as an assistant when I was at Northwest Missouri State. What he's done is just amazing. I mean, to have that many wins, he's got more wins than any other 4-year coach in the history of the game of basketball. Right. Now, think about all the guys who have coached at the 4-year college level in the history of the game. And Harry Statham, who's coming in here Thursday night, has more wins than any of them ever.
It's incredible, and it will be quite a night, I believe. Plus, you put on the emphasis on what it means to the conference race.
Well, the importance of the game against McKendree, again, is the fact that we have a 1-game lead on them. We have 4 wins in the lead. They have 3. If they defeat us on Thursday, we're tied. Then if it comes down to tiebreaker, because we're only going to play them once, they would have the tiebreaker over us. So there's a lot of pressure on us to step up and compete and be in a position to win that game and then close the deal. But McKendree's playing very well. They played extremely well against Drury. They're playing everybody tough. And we'll see how we regroup after the Lewis game. I think we will. We have a great group of young men, and we'll be studying video on McKendree, but it really comes down to us and playing to our potential. And if we do that, I like our chance.
That's head coach Larry Holley. And coming up next, assistant women's basketball coach Steve Broughton visits about the weekend when we return inside the Cardinal Playbook.
I really love the Hy-Vee Fuel Saver program because there's no limit to what you can buy. I work on Monday nights, so I make sure I pick up a pizza. They're usually a 5 to 15 cent fuel saver. It's an easy discount and an easy meal for the kids. The most I've saved with gas was $2.08 a gallon. When I saw how much it was, I kind of did a little dance up and down. I took a picture, of course, of what I saved, and then I sent it to my husband, who then posted on Facebook that I went back in time and saved money on gas today.
Welcome back inside the Cardinal Playbook, and in this segment we visit with assistant women's basketball coach Steve Broughton, talking about the games at Wisconsin Parkside and at Lewis this weekend. I don't know, where do you want to start? The win at Parkside was exciting. You played well at Lewis, so two pretty good outings.
Right, it was kind of a weird weekend. You know, I thought we played 17 or 18 good minutes at Parkside and got the win. We played about 34 good minutes at Lewis, and we didn't get the win. So it was just a different kind of weekend for us.
Between the schools that you were talking about, it's kind of an interesting dichotomy because you beat Parkside. Parkside had beaten Lewis, their only conference loss, and again, you were close to beating Lewis on the road in Illinois.
Yeah, I watched the game, Parkside-Lewis game. It was just one of those games. Lewis didn't play very well, and Parkside played well. I mean, Parkside's 3-12, 3-10 in the conference, and Lewis 17-3 overall. So you never know. Just an example of how things go in this league. So.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about Parkside because it was an exciting win. The Cardinals were down most of the way, finally took a lead in the last, 2-3 minutes, and were able to hang on. Down 14, though, at the half. What was the difference between the first half and the second half?
Well, I thought we played with a lot more purpose, a lot more intensity, and we had some players who really stepped up and played well in the second half, especially Cassie Nicolay and Chelsea Meeks. I thought both played really well in the second half, hit some big shots. And then at the end, with the score tied, Maddie Nelson made a big three, and we just kind of made the plays we had to make at the end and got the win.
Talking about that, the plays you had to have at the end, you were defending a 1-point lead. I think Parkside had about 24 seconds or so left. Ball knocked away by Meeks, but recovered by Parkside. They called timeout, and then they had about 14 seconds. And again, it was Chelsea Meeks who came up with a big play defensively, stealing it, fouled, hit 2 free throws to pretty much put it away. And to me, one of the bigger defensive plays of the year.
Well, yeah, and she makes good plays for us all the time. She's a senior. She played for 4 years. We kind of expect that out of her. Not always just that steal at that situation, but she's the kind of kid who can come up with that play and then finish it by hitting the free throws to give us a little cushion.
Isn't that kind of, it's been so interesting through the years because she has been in so many of those situations. Late in the game, at the free throw line, she is so good in those situations.
Really, yeah, she really is. And she's just a kid you can depend on at that point in the game. I know she made a three at the end of the Maryville game to send it to overtime, gets the steal there, makes the free throws, and we expect that out of her, and she's a very good player.
Chelsea comes up with a big defensive play, but there were many plays in that game as we talked about. But talk about Cassie Nicolay, because as you said in the second half, all of a sudden she gets the ball down low and she's unstoppable.
Right, and we did something that we really need to do a little more often is play through her in the post. We gave her some touches in the post. She converted with some baskets, made some very nice passes that led to baskets. Had a double-double, I think 24 and 12 on Thursday, and had another double-double on Saturday. She's playing really well, gets a lot out of her ability, knows her game, plays it well, and she has to play well for us to win.
Yeah. You've been around her 3 or 4 years, and you know that we list her, I think, at 5'9", but she's not 5'9". How is she so good?
She just knows how to play. She's smart, and she plays with a lot of heart, and that makes up for any size inadequacy, and she's a hard worker. I know when I first got here, she was one of the first people to come to me, and we worked hard in the off season, and it's really nice to see her have the kind of success she has.
Maddie Nelson, you mentioned, hit a big three-pointer late in the Parkside game, and there's a young lady that's had a wonderful year for us.
Great year as a freshman. I think you look around the conference, and I don't know how many freshmen start in this league, but I don't think it's a lot, and she's had some ups and downs like every freshman has, but she's such a great competitor and plays hard every game, comes to play, not afraid to take those shots, and but she's going to have a great career here at Jewell.
Steve Broughton is with us talking about women's basketball here at William Jewell College, and I think a nice transition here is to talk about Ariel Smith. Ariel played well against Parkside, but I thought was maybe the best player on the floor against Lewis. And she, again, one of those players who doesn't usually have a game where you can point at one stat and say, wow, that'll blow you away, but always a great stat line. I think she had 18 against Lewis scoring on Saturday, but still, she has had a remarkable year.
Yeah, she is such a good player. So unassuming, as good a teammate as you could have, as good a kid to coach as you can have. I think a lot of times we feel like Ariel just doesn't know how good she can really be. And Saturday, for me, is the best game I've seen her play at William Jewell. To have 13 shots and score 18 points, 5 assists, 1 turnover. Our best defender night in and night out. And like I said, kind of was just so unassuming, probably a little bit too unselfish, you know. And sometimes, like I said, we just think, Ariel, if she only knew how good she could be, you know, what a great kid, though.
She has 18, and you play Lewis so closely, as you said, 34 great minutes. Kind of got them back on their heels. They had blown out Rockhurst on Thursday night. Do you think maybe you caught them, maybe not expecting you to be that good?
Well, maybe. I mean, they handled us pretty well last year, but they were really good. I mean, you know, they're, like I said, they're 17-3, and only one conference loss in this conference. That says a lot. But we played well, and I mean, when we play well, you know, we can play with anybody. Our thing is we just don't have a lot of margin for error. We need to play 40 good minutes, not 34, and you know, we played well for the time we played well. We were good enough to hang with them, but in the end, you know, they're really good, and they made the plays they needed to make.
They had an amazing post player, maybe one of the smoothest post players I've seen in catching and shooting the ball so quickly, and yet she didn't hurt us so much, except maybe in a couple of spots, but I don't ever remember seeing a post player any better than theirs.
Well, I tell you what, they have two really good ones. Jess Reinhardt was 11 for 13 from the field, I think, and really their best player is Mariah Henley, who's had 6 games of 17 or more rebounds,
what I'm talking about.
She's a truly, really good player, and Cassie battled her. I thought Kinsey Johnson and Christian Keys came in and played well defensively on her. We made her work, and you know, we did a good job against her.
Yeah. This week coming up, the Cardinals play McKendree on Thursday night, and then the University of Illinois Springfield on Saturday. How do we sit for qualifying for the playoffs? I know 5 teams from each side qualify, plus 2 wild cards across the 2 divisions. Where are we right now?
Well, we're going to have to be one of those wild cards at this point. As close to must-wins as you can have this weekend. We need to win Thursday and Saturday against teams that we're certainly comparable to, teams that quite honestly have struggled conference-wise, and we need to take advantage of that. We're at home. If we win 2 this weekend, we're going to be in good shape to make the playoffs, but we can't relax at all at this point.
That's assistant coach Steve Broughton talking about women's basketball as the Cardinals played Lewis and Wisconsin Parkside this past week. Back with Jefferson Roblee, and we'll talk some soccer when we return inside the Cardinal Playbook.
Hi, I'm Rachel Callaghy, Head Connections Specialist with Welcome Opportunities, the Northland's only target marketing firm that specializes in turning the thousands of new residents who move to our area each year into your customers. We are the advertising option that's never turned off, torn up, or tossed out. At least not yet, anyway. So if you're looking for the most cost-effective way to reach prospective customers before your competitors, give me a call today at 816-883-8633 or visit my website at welcomeopportunities.com.
Before the game or after the game, it's Poor Boy Oil Company for your pre- and post-game food and beverage. ConocoPhillips and BP Amoco Fuels get you to the game, and our large vendors give you great food and beverage choices before or after the game. Our small-town roots and family value philosophies help us to maintain the highest standards in customer service and value. Poor Boy Oil Company. Find us around the Northland, wherever the Cardinals fly.
Back inside the Cardinal Playbook, and Jefferson Roblee joins us, the head soccer coach for both women and men. We're talking about National Letter of Intent Signing Day, which was last week, and we'll talk about the women first. Coach, I have in my hand here the key to your future. This is your recruiting class, at least on paper, and we're going to talk about each of these young ladies in a moment, but what are your feelings about the class as a whole?
Great class, great group of young student athletes who excel in the field and the classroom. It takes a very special person to be a student athlete here at William Jewell College. You have to be, obviously, you really want to be able to achieve and improve as a player, have a great time doing that. You got to be able to also perform in the classroom. We're a great academic institution, and our student athletes are among the best in the nation, and these players we're proud to have them join our group.
In general, whether it's the women's or the men's team, how far in advance do you start looking at some of these potential players?
On the women's side, it starts pretty early, so usually you're identifying players really when they hit high school, but really it starts up with the women. There's sophomore and junior year. Their junior year for us is when it really picks up a lot, but some of them we've seen even when they're sophomores.
Let's take a look at some of the individuals here. Let's start with Peyton Bowe from Arnold, Missouri.
Peyton's an attacking player, plays forward. Is one of the top goal scorers on Nerix Hall in St. Louis, plays for Scott Gallagher Soccer Club. Actually, I saw Peyton first time after her sophomore year. Saw her in club competition and then started tracking her and found out she was a great student as well. And and the rest is history. She's going to be a very good player for us.
The next one is Mackenzie, and I'm hoping I'm saying it right. Geigling?
Giegling.
Giegling, okay. Tell us about Mackenzie.
Left-footed, midfielder, defender, very good player, strikes the ball really well. Also another very good student. Really, she can give us a lot of depth on the left side of the field, which is always a hard position to find good players at. She's going to be great for us.
How about Aspen Hawkins?
Aspen Hawkins is a midfielder who can also play some defense, but she's a midfielder, good player, can distribute, can shoot. She was a big goal scorer in high school.
Next one on our list is Jordan Lewis. Of course, we have a men's basketball player named Jordan Lewis. So tell us about Jordan Lewis, the goalkeeper.
Jordan's a goalkeeper. Known about her for a long time. She goes to Smithville High School. Actually went to our ID camp a few years ago. And another great student athlete who's going to help us.
The next one that we have here, and by the way, these are all available on our website as well after Jordan, is Megan Morgan. Can you tell us about her a little bit?
Yeah, Megan, she plays defense with her club team, and she plays as an attacking player with her high school team. Another great student athlete, and a player that can play a lot of different places. It'll be interesting to see where she is with us because she can play all over the field. So it's a great thing to have that type of ability.
Jefferson, in general, do you look for players that could possibly play different positions too? Not to say that they will, but they possibly could?
Well, you have to. I mean, you know, some players are going to be, maybe they have one specific position that is best for them, but if we have depth at that position, it's good if you can also provide some depth at different positions. Right. So sometimes forwards can also play out wide. Sometimes central defenders can play outside back. And sometimes outside defenders can play outside midfield. So if you can play different positions, it's just going to help your cause and help the team.
How about the next one here, Alexis Palmer? She's a forward and midfielder. You got her slash there, and the same situation. Yeah, very similar. She plays forward and she plays out wide. She's got some speed, and she's good in transition and a very good attacking player. Great student athlete as well. So as a whole, again, a pretty strong class, and you're pretty excited about this. Great class. You know, we have 6 great student athletes, great attitudes, great students. They can't wait to be here. We can't wait to have them. We've got, you know, we're losing a lot of very, very good seniors who have put in some great time with us, and we don't want to lose any of them, but we're excited we've got this class coming in to help continue the great reputation here at William Jewell College. All right, we will take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back with Jefferson, and we'll talk about the men's signees here for soccer at William Jewell College inside the Cardinal Playbook.
The best day of your life will go by in a blur. We created Storybook Wedding KC to capture every memory for you in a beautiful video. Relive each moment in a way photographs can't do alone. You will hear the emotion in his voice as he promises to love you forever. See the way your beautiful dress flows as you walk down the aisle and dance at your reception. Listen to your loved ones share their best memories of you or heartfelt advice that you will cherish years from now when they are gone. Feel like a celebrity as Storybook Wedding KC films your best moments to be shared and treasured forever.
Back inside the Cardinal Playbook with head men's soccer coach Jefferson Roblee. We're talking about National Letter of Intent Day and going to go through the men's National Letter of Intent signees here. And again, as with the women, how do you feel about this class as a whole?
It's a great class, a great group of student athletes who can help us a lot of different positions on the field. They can provide depth for us. We've got some speed, some skill, some strength, players that are good at heading the ball, players that are good putting the ball in the back of the net. It's a great class.
Well, let's go over these players, and again, we'll do them in alphabetical order as we did the women. And start with Derek Bullis, a midfielder from Overland Park.
Yeah, very good player. He was Eastern Kansas League Midfielder of the Year, the Blue Valley West High School, played club for Sporting Blue Valley. He's a central midfielder who can also play defensive positions as well. Skillful player, very good, great student athlete.
The next one on our list is Aaron Froelich. Would you tell us about him, please?
Aaron's a goal scorer. He goes to Rolla High School and plays for Scott Gallagher Soccer Club out of St. Louis. He actually set the Missouri State scoring record during his time at Rolla. Good player, very good goal scorer, good in the air, can hit the ball with either foot. He's going to hopefully score a lot of goals for us.
Yeah, we'd love that. How about Nate Creamy? And I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, defender from Rolla.
Yep, he also goes to Rolla. Very good player in the air. He's a central defender, hard in the tackle. He's physically strong, good soccer player, good student athlete. He's going to be a good player for us.
All right, and as we continue down this list, Jordan Lindsay is the next one, and again, you've got him listed at a couple of different positions here. And as we talked in the women's, that's a very positive thing going toward your college career.
Very positive thing. You know, Jordan is probably listed as a forward and midfielder. He's a player that can play up top. He can play out wide. He's even played some defender in his club days. So he's a good player for us. He's quick. He's skillful. Known about him for a long time, actually. He's a Northlander, goes to Park Hill South High School, plays with the Futura Academy club team. So it'll be fun seeing him here for 4 years.
And again, folks, all of these players are listed on our website. If you'd like some more information about them, they are on our website under the signing stories that are posted there. Let's continue here with Evan Miller, a defender.
Yeah, Evan's a big center back, Shiamish Northwest High School, plays for the Sporting Blue Valley club team. Very good player, good in the air. He's got a lot of good attributes you want out of a central defender. He passes well. He's strong in the tackle, good in the air, and another great student athlete.
How about Tristan Morgan?
Tristan Morgan he goes to Smet High School, plays for St. Louis Scott Gallagher club team. He's a quick player. He can take people on the dribble, can play on the left or right side. Confident on the ball. Good player and another good student athlete.
Hunter Short is the next one on our list, a midfielder, again from Rolla.
Yeah, we've got 3 players from Rolla. Rolla had a great team this year. All 3 of those guys also play with the St. Louis Scott Gallagher Club at St. Louis. Hunter is a strong central midfielder who's good on the ball, sees the field very well, good work rate, and he can score some goals. He's what you want out of a center midfielder.
On our list next is Rain Tupinio, a great name, and tell us about Rain a little bit.
Rain's a defender from Fort Osage High School, plays for the Arsenal Gunners club team out of Kansas City here. Very good player, good defender, and also a great student athlete as well. I believe he's #1 in his class, and he's going to be a good player for us.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally on our list is Troy Williams. He's the last one, again, going alphabetically.
Yeah, Troy's from Smithville High School, plays for the Futura Academy club team. He's a big goal scorer, too. He scored over 100 goals in high school for Smithville. He's played different positions as well, but he's another goal scorer, so we like those.
Well, tell me about in general. Can a freshman come in and have an impact at the Division II level?
They can. You know, most freshmen know that it's when they come in, it's always a learning phase, but it's a time when how quickly can they get adapted? How are they ready, and how quickly they can adapt? We've got some student athletes that I think will be able to adapt and will be ready. Again, are all 9 of them going to be able to come in and do that? Well, if they don't right away, it's okay. But I think we definitely will have some players that will be able to contribute, and it's a very good group.
And finally, what is your training schedule like in the spring?
Oh, we've got, we're recording this actually on a Monday, and today we'll play Monday Night Futsal. We're in our limited time of the part of the off season, so we'll have Monday Night Futsal tonight, then we have workouts Tuesday, Thursday, and then we get in the second week of March and our official spring season starts, where we'll start training 4 times a week, and then we'll have games in April. So should be very exciting. But tonight it's Monday Night Futsal.
well, good luck. I hope that goes well. And thank you again for the insight on your signees, both on the women's and the men's side. Jefferson Roblee has been our guest here, and we're back with a final message in just a moment.
My name is Jesse Limeculer, CEO of Belvoir Winery, 110 years in the making. We provide a unique experience in that it's a historic building. It's 110 years old, and we allow people to bring in their own caterers to have a nice formal sit-down meal or something that's social and very casual. We let them do basically whatever they want as far as their event goes. We have the fountain running and have the gazebo up for all the wedding days and special days out here. I'm Jesse Limeculer, the CEO of Belvoir Winery.
And that'll do it for this week Inside the Cardinal Playbook. Thank you for joining us, and thank you to our head coaches and assistant coaches, as it turns out today. Larry Holley and Jefferson Roblee, the head coaches of men's basketball and men's and women's soccer, and assistant women's basketball coach Steve Broughton. Basketball is home this weekend with Thursday night games against McKendree and Saturday afternoon games against the University of Illinois Springfield. And we'll see you next week on Inside the Cardinal Playbook.